Welcome to another video, and we're looking at the GCSE ICT exam revision for the 2014 paper, and also I'm going to give you a bit of a heads up on what's coming up in the mock for question 2. So let's just go through this. If you watched the previous video, I apologise, but if you haven't, the sort of typical questions that I've spotted through analysing the questions are things like questions about payment systems, marketing, publicity, viral, things like hosted versus local applications, searching the internet, techniques and refining, online community, so sort of personalised bookmarking, forums, blogs, online tools, online accounts, security in terms of payment, bank checks, secure sites, different sort of payment methods have come up, password strength, and reporting abuse. So it may differ in the actual exam, but typically that's what I found. So it's always worth thinking about that for your revision. Again, if you're stuck, crack open the revision guide and go through it. Revise as you need to, and obviously use the sheets to take notes about things you didn't quite get or you need to think about a bit more closely. So here we go, 2014 paper. Not first question, but question 2. Tahira School does not have an internet connection. Many schools in the world do not have an internet access to the internet. List, so command word is list, so that 2 or 3 word answers are fine. 3 causes of a lack of access to the internet in the world. So I think Tahira was in a developing country or something like that. So 3 causes of a lack of internet access, basically. Have a think about that. Okay, so it could be the fact that they're nowhere near any type of structured communication. There are no mobile phone masts, there are no broadband telephony providers. Could be like somewhere like Antarctica or Greenland or the Falkland Islands. Okay, also remember we did our digital divide learning about people just can't afford it, the cost of subscription. There are some people, at school who, say, well, I can't do my homework, I can't show my homework because I don't have access to the internet for whatever reason. Might be a lack of expertise and skills. Okay, so it might be people think, actually, I don't know what to do. I'm just not going to use it. No access to a network. So there's, they want to, maybe they have the devices, but there's no network available. Also, the cultural or political issues or religious may cause certain people or genders not to give access. Remember, if you look at the do not accept part, lack cost of computers, digital divide or disabilities. Okay, rural for remoteness is fine. Okay. Moving on, Tahira shares her smartphone internet connection with the new computers. Okay, and as you can see there, it's got some sort of device. It's a smartphone, isn't it? It's got Bluetooth enabled, tethered to 5 devices. It's got the power of the time. You can see a signal up here, can't you? So it's often worth just, rather than panicking, just having a look at what's on here. Okay. Which one of these should be increased to improve the student's user experience? So she's got shares her smartphone internet connection, sharing her internet smartphone connection with the new computers. Okay. Which one of these should be increased to improve the student's user experience? So, okay, remember what latency and bandwidth. Remember what latency to do with time, bandwidth is the amount, distance was obvious, and interference. Okay, what should be increased to improve the student's user experience? And the obvious one is A, bandwidth. Okay, so that's going to, because she's obviously sharing her smartphone internet connection, so it's going to be probably chugging along a little bit, tethered to 5 devices. it's going to be mega slow, isn't it? So she needs more bandwidth, doesn't she? Okay, Tahira wants the students to use hosted application software on the computers. Hosted application. So when I'm reading exam questions, it's always worth maybe underlining or just reading it 2 or 3 times, because often you read it once and you think you know what you're doing and then you don't. So read it. Tahira wants the students to use hosted applications. So it's hosted. What does that mean? Okay, so it's something online, okay, that's provided by a different company on the computers, and you've got some online word processor. Have you got there with some, online word processing.org? Okay, so it's showing you some sort of software that does, on a bit like Word Online, that sort of thing. So before they can use the software, each student must create an online account, which includes a personal profile. Give one security measure that a student could use to prevent unauthorized access to their online account. Okay, so a lot of words and then it gets to a very simple question. Okay, so let's put yourself in your position. Do you use online software at school? Yes. What security measure do you have to prevent unauthorized access? Apart from your username, what do you have? Okay, pretty obvious, and the answer is a password, a PIN, or a passcode. Okay, so username and password that you have for Office 365. There's 3 ways in which a student could personalize their account profile. Okay, so it's not saying what it is. I suppose it's leading on from the last question, but any online account that you can personalize. What would you do with a Modo to personalize to make it more like yours, or with, I don't know, Facebook or any of these things? What can you do? Okay, have a think about that. 3 things. It's a list command where it's just 2 or 3 words per item. All right, and you can put an image, an avatar, photo, video, audio. You could change the page. There might be options to change the color of your page, the layout, the theme. You could put in more personal information about you, your hobbies, your biography, your status, where you're based, and any links or quotes or anything like that that can personalize. And personalize means make it more about you. Okay. Next question. The school pays online for the software. Okay, so school pays online. So this is going to be about payment online, isn't it? List 2 payment methods that the school could use when online. Okay, so let's pretend someone's in the office down in Wingfield and they want to buy something online. I don't know, some new stationery, and they've got to pay online. What payment methods could the school use? Okay, have a think about it. We've done this quite a bit. And the answer is, okay, so PayPal, third-party payment processor, okay, card, bank, debit, e-voucher. And please don't think that often these answers are really mega complicated, that they're trying to trick you. Often it's just stuff you've learnt, stuff you know. Things like bank transfer, Bitcoin, probably unlikely, but it's possible. It's possible. E-voucher, gift card, depends what it is. But typically, PayPal, card, debit card, and so on. Okay. Right, okay. Give 2 advantages to the school of using hosted application software rather than locally installed software. Give 2 advantages. So 2 advantages to the school of using a hosted, so that's software, an application like Word or PowerPoint, online rather than stuff that's on locally installed. And when we mean locally installed, we mean something that is on a computer, say in TC9 or TC7. So what would be the advantage of the school using a hosted application software rather than a locally installed software? Okay, we have talked about this. And the answer would be, so the advantages would be It's cheaper sometimes, okay, than locally installed software, because obviously you've got to pay someone to install the software locally. You've got to pay for the disk, the software, the licenses. And if it's something that can be just accessed quickly online, it's typically that the company will give it at a cheaper price, but obviously you get less functionality. Also, everything's backed up automatically, so it's an advantage. So you don't have to have the software on computers and the network and the server back it up every evening. It's already backed up. Okay, it's access anywhere with a connection, ability to collaboratively work with other colleagues. Okay, so because it's online, there may be tools and facilities to be able to share files or whatever. You don't need on-site support. You get automatic updates and less storage. There's obviously lots of downsides, okay, which you need to know about. Okay, the fact that if you don't have an internet connection, you're stuffed, which often we find is the problem at school. With a VLE and email. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. So last question: providers of hosted application software often do not require users to pay a fee. So providers of hosted applications do not require users to pay a fee. Give 2 ways in which commercial software companies could respond to this challenge. Okay, so let's say there's a company called ABC and they provide a word processor, and another company think, we don't do this online. What could we do? What could they respond? What could they do to their software? Have a think about that. And the answer is that they could create their own hosted version, okay, to compete. They could make it free or cheaper, with reduced features. So rather than offering the full package, they could actually, say, well, yeah, for the online version is, doesn't have these features, but it's, it's online and it's free. Okay, they could sort of reduce the price, have special offers, provide online support. Add more features in, and so on and so on. Okay, so those are some of the answers to the questions, and I hope that's been useful for you, and good luck with your revision. Thank you.